Welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I'm Ronique, and I appreciate you joining me here on my YouTube channel. It is always a pleasure to talk with you each lunation cycle, which occurs about every 2 weeks here on Scorpio Soul Time, where we talk about the astrology and the energy that is going on up in the heavens. And as they say, as above, so below. So whatever is happening up in the universe between the planets definitely affects us here on Earth. So thank you so much for joining me. So today we're actually going to talk about some astrology, but we're also going to pull some tarot cards, do a past, present, and future spread, and just talk about what is to come with this new moon in Capricorn, January 13th, 2021 at 23 degrees Capricorn and 13 minutes. And this occurs at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it could happen on January 12th for you, just depending on where you are in your time zone. So I want to show you here, I like to always show you on the astrological wheel what is going on. So we have the sun here in Capricorn and the moon here sitting conjunct. They're side by side at 23 degrees of Capricorn. And we also have Mercury and we also have Pluto in Capricorn. So if you remember back to January of 2020, on January 10th, that was actually the Saturn and Pluto conjunction. And if you listen to many astrologers, they say that that was literally the turning point, if you will, with the pandemic. That was before, much of the world really knew about what was going on with the pandemic, but they're very much saying that that Saturn-Pluto conjunction, January 10th of 2020, was a pivotal point for why, that's basically when COVID and different things with government were not, readily known to everyone. So I just want to let you know that at this point that we have this new moon in Capricorn, this 23 degree Capricorn point is actually the same point that the Saturn and Pluto conjunction happened at 23 degrees of Capricorn back in January 10th of 2020. So I would invite you to look down in Scorpio Soul Times playlist, and if you scroll down and you find that January 10th time, you'll actually see a video that I did for that new moon, and it's going to be very interesting for you to see the similarities between what was going on then and what is going on now. And I think it's also interesting because we now also have Saturn and Jupiter over here in Aquarius, as well as Mercury has moved into Aquarius. So this is really important because this energy that we are going through now, I'm actually filming this video right after all of the crazy hysteria went on yesterday in Washington, D.C. It's now January 7th when I'm actually filming this, 2021. And I want you to kind of note that this energy that's here in Capricorn and Aquarius, this is like this energy of like rules, regulation, very dominant energy of like people wanting to get their way with this Aquarius energy. Aquarius can be very high-minded, which means like it can be thinking outside of the box, really being technologically advanced and thinking out of our typical boundaries. But the lower vibration of Aquarius, which can be this Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury meeting up with Capricorn here, is also rebellion and like wanting to have your way or the highway. Like it's just like this consistent energy of like trying to have like power and control. And at this time, when Mercury and Capricorn are conjunct, it's interesting because back in January 10th of 2020, this energy was when Mercury was in Capricorn instead of now where Mercury's in Aquarius. And so at that time, there was the sun, the moon, you know, and Mercury all in this critical juncture of Capricorn. And at this new moon in Capricorn here on January 13th, we're going to have those same type of dynamics. And so I think that it's interesting because the sun, moon, Venus, and Pluto are all sitting in Capricorn, and Mercury, Saturn, and Jupiter are in Aquarius. So the high-minded, rebellious energy of Aquarius and the strict regime of law and order of Capricorn is going to bring a lot of tension. And we can already see where that tension, like, obviously hit the fan yesterday on January 6th in Washington, D.C. with, you know, the riots and whatnot. But this can also mean people around you can feel more volatile, or it can also mean like themes from last year. So remember, like, there's 6 planets in the 4th house that is ruled by Cancer at the time of this new moon. So remember, we just left that Capricorn Cancer eclipse energy. So we are going to still see these themes. And I think that this Devil is interesting because the Devil is actually the card ruled by Capricorn. And so I think it's interesting how the depiction on this deck, which is, let me show you what deck this is. This is actually the Modern Witch Tarot deck, which I've been using since my birthday back in November, and I really love it. But I like the way that they depicted it here also, because it's like this energy of being chained and like being ruled or led by something bigger than yourself. It's like the ego card, where it's like you feel like you're only ruling by your drive and how you think things should be. And I think that over this last year, we've seen a lot of this Capricornian energy of kind of like this strict regime of rules and regulations and government, and even down to like the health crisis, and in terms of like where you can be at certain times, and you know, the COVID, and just all this energy around like being chained, if you will, or being like you don't feel like you have control over what you can do. And so I invite you at this new moon in Capricorn to really go back to 2020 January and look through just your own personal life and figure out what themes around that 4th house, because we're actually having 6 planets sitting in the 4th house at this new moon. We have let's see, we have Mercury. Let's do all the planets. We have the sun, the moon, Pluto, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury, all sitting right around the 4th house. And the 4th house rules, it's like at the bottom of the zodiac wheel. And so it rules like your foundation. And so it can be anything from home, privacy, basic security, your parents, children, your mothering abilities, nurturing. So just remember, like, these Cancer kind of led themes are sitting like across the sky from the moon and the sun in Capricorn. So it's going to be interesting at this new moon in Capricorn to see how this plays out and how these themes of whatever was instigated back, like I said, at that January 10th Saturn Pluto conjunction back on January 10th, 2020. Look back on your own life and just see, are there themes that are reoccurring from that time? Or there, since this is a new moon, remember, it can mean that you're starting something fresh. So maybe you've ended a cycle and now you're starting anew. So I want you to think through what it is around those themes that we just spoke about, and figure out what it is that you need to ask the universe, ask your angels, your spirit guides for clarity, for information, just kind of like how to set new intentions for this next lunation cycle. So we're going to pull a past, present, and future spread. And I like to do the past, present, and future spread. Someone asked me the other day, why do you do a past, present, and future? Because I think that really helps us hone in on like where we've been, where we're at now, and where we're going. And I think that's really important for just kind of like tapping into the energies without having like a 30-minute long video that just talks about one dimension of our world. I like to use that 30 minutes in a more constructive way. So I think the past, present, and future helps. So in the past, we actually have the Lovers card, which is the number 6, major arcana. Then in the present, we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. And then in the future, we have the Sun in reverse. And that's a very positive card to see just in general. So I'm really liking that. And I did here to turn over the bottom, and we have Strength. Now, if that is not indicative of where we're at, I think that that is pretty fortuitous. So let's take out the Strength card. Oh, and you know what? And I just pulled that out. I also see the Empress. So lots of major arcana cards. So we have a lot of themes of strength, persevering, setting new intentions. So let's start off with the Lovers card. So the Lovers is led by Gemini. I think that's very interesting as we just came out of that Gemini. I think it was the lunar eclipse back in December. So this could be representing something that you are trying to manifest from that Gemini time, but it also could mean relationships. There could be themes of what is it in your life that, or people in your life, relationships in your life that you need to work on, that have maybe you're planting new seeds, or maybe you planted new seeds back at that Gemini. I believe it was the Gemini new moon. Let me look in my records here, because I like to be able to reference back to when the energies, because I feel like when the cards come up of just recent astrological signs, it's the universe like giving us information. So it looked like it was the full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini on November 30th. So if you go back into Scorpio soul time, look at the eclipse playlist. And on November 30th, I did a full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini. So this definitely could relate to something culminating, or it could be you're planting new seeds. Maybe you had information come out at that full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini at that time. I would look back on that and see where is it that maybe you're now planting new seeds from November, or maybe there are people in your life that, or it could also be there's a Gemini in your life that, you know, could be romantic. It could be like a person comes back from your past that also was a Gemini. So look back on that full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini, because that was really a pivotal time with the eclipses. Remember, we had the full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini, and then we had the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius on December 14th. So this definitely can, I would say, you know, eclipse energy can be felt for 6 months. So this definitely could be something relating to that eclipse, and maybe you are working through it. I mean, we're only 2 months from that eclipse, so this could also be something from the past is trying to send you messages, or there's information that's going to come out from people or surroundings around you. All right, so in the present, we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So the 3 of Pentacles has to do with something you are working on in the physical world. You might be teaching someone. You can see this teacher is helping this student who's doing a drawing or painting of this model, and you can see the 3 pentacles. Pentacles have to do with the physical world. It can be money. It can be you trying to learn or hone a craft. With it in reverse though, in the present, I'm feeling like there is something that you've been trying to do, whether it's at work, you've been trying to learn something, you can't get traction. You're having problems, or you're having kind of like a roadblock. It could be people, or maybe it could be a boss, it can be colleagues, or it could just be you don't feel like you have been able to get as far as you would like to in your work, in classes, if you're a student. Maybe there's something you want to learn, but you just don't have the resources to learn it. That's the other thing I get with Pentacles, since it has to do with money. So there could be a sense of kind of like stumbling over roadblocks from something that hasn't manifested yet, and you're trying to figure out how you can either get the money or get the resources or get the people or get an interview. There's something like you're waiting, or you're trying to learn something, but you're having roadblocks in the present. But with it being in the present and me looking back on that Gemini, I really do think that there's something back at that November 30th lunar eclipse that maybe is trying to help you in the present, but you just don't see it yet. And I'm saying the reason why I don't think you see it yet is because of the Sun card. So the Sun card is always a very positive card, whether it's in reverse or it's upright. It's a very positive card. It's probably the most positive card in the deck. The Sun, the 4 of Wands, you know, the 10 of Pentacles, those are all like really positive cards. And the Sun card with the little child showing youthfulness, freedom, something that you're excited about, the sunflowers being fruitful, nurturing, abundance is coming to you. And with it in reverse in the future, I'm really just taking that as the things that you have been working on are just going to be delayed. And I think that that makes a lot of sense, because as we come into February, we're actually going to go into Mercury retrograde. And so I think that this is kind of symbolizing that whatever you've been working on is coming, but it's just going to be a little slower than what you maybe anticipated with work or something that you're trying to learn. It's going to come, it's just going to come a little slower than you thought. And with that Strength card being that overarching theme, I think there is this theme of like, you're just going to have to be patient. Like, it's not all going to come exactly at the time that you want it to come, but it's coming. So I think that that Strength card is really helping us realize like everything might not come always as quickly as we would like, but I think that there's somebody either in your life romantically or maybe an old friend that's going to help you either with a job, or something is going to fruition here. I can feel it. And I think that that's also around those themes, like I was saying, with that 4th house of Cancer. It might have something to do with your home life, might have something to do with close family friends. It could have to do with like a romantic partner, your parents, something dealing with your family. So the Lovers card, remember, does not always have to do with like a romantic relationship. It could also just be more of a like good friends, good neighbors, maybe something's happening with your parents, family. But I'm really encouraged by the Sun and the Strength card, because there is this positive, like the lion is and the woman are like using each other to almost like tame their you know, their angst to want something to happen right away. So let's pull some clarifiers here. And there fell out the 5 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups always symbolizes to me like you're focusing on stuff that is bad rather than stuff that is good. Like there's these 2 cups here that are actually positive, but you're focused on only the negative. So that is something interesting. I'm going to put it next to the Strength card, because I think that you're really getting caught up with that 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Like there's something that you haven't been able to make fruition, but you are like so focused on it that you're not actually seeing that there's positive emotional energy going on around you. And if it's not you, it might be a relative, like I said, a family member. Remember, when you do tarot, it's not always exactly you. Sometimes it has to do with people in your life, or someone that you're going to encounter, or someone who comes from the past. The Hermit card just fell out. And the Hermit in reverse to me means you've been trying to go within to figure out what you need to do, but you're still not able to like find the strength or find your way, because the Hermit in the upright position usually has to do with you needing to go into solitude, or you take some time out for yourself and kind of find answers. But with it in reverse, I'm almost feeling like you're getting so hung up. There's that theme of like you're getting hung up on things that are not working for you, rather than focusing on what is working for you. So I can already tell before we even pull any more cards that if you don't change how you're looking at life right now, if we all only concentrate on the negativity that's going on, we're not going to get to this Sun card, whether it's upright or reverse. Like if you're just stuck in this, like it hasn't fruitioned, I don't know when it's coming. You know, if you're not actually being this woman or this lion in the Strength card, you're not going to get to what, you're not going to get to the sun. You're not going to get to those flowers blooming, and you know, and I think that's why the Sun is in reverse. I think this is like delayed because we're so hung up on things that haven't fruitioned. Okay, so and I'm only going to clarify actually the Three of Pentacles, because I feel like the Hermit coming out and the Five of Cups already gave a pretty good foundation of we're stuck in this rut and we are too focused on ourselves. We're kind of being selfish. I think that there definitely is this energy of like you're gonna have to find the strength in order to get to this sun. Like remember, we're always trying to get to the future, but we have to go through the present and we have to learn from the past in order to get to the future. So I'm going to clarify the Three of Pentacles, and I get the Queen of Cups. So I think that's a positive sign. I think that there is an energy of maybe there are people around you, women figures. There could be a boss. It could be a mentor that wants to help you. There is some good emotional energy with the Queen of Cups. A motherly figure possibly wants to actually help you out and trying to maybe, you know, they're able to lend you some money to be able to get some classes that you were thinking of. Maybe there's an interview that you were trying to go on and you didn't know anyone that worked at a certain company. And I feel like that Queen of Cups is coming in saying, I can help you out. You know, I know somebody who knows somebody. Let me try to get you an interview. So I think that's a really positive sign. I'm going to move these over so we can get them all in the shot here. And I'm going to pull the bottom, and then there's the Page of Cups. So I think that there is this energy of, it is in reverse though, so there is this energy of messages, emotional energy coming in with the two, both the Queen and the Page. This is also water energy, so I'm almost taking this as a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer might be helping you with that Cancerian energy. Remember, we have all of that energy in the 4th house right here at the new moon in Capricorn. So this could also mean there's this energy around the home, energy around emotional energy. There's a lot of messages here around working through things that you've been trying to on your own, but possibly needing to seek help, seek emotional help, seek maybe a younger person. This could also be children. Remember, we just talked about how there could be energy of family, kids, parents with that 4th house. And so with these, we actually have 3 different cups. We have the 5 of Cups, the Page, and the Queen. So I think that this is a really positive reading for this new moon in Capricorn. I do think that we're all going to have some challenges in the present, which is this 3 of Pentacles. Pentacles also are a very earthly sign, which also could lead to or could signify the Capricorn energy that we're actually going to be going through at that new moon. So I do think at this new moon there's going to be some power struggles that happen out in the collective as well as in our personal lives. I think that these cards are telling us that there is strength. There is like some emotional help that's out there between like the Queen of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Lovers, but it's almost like you're going to have to go within at that Hermit. You're going to have to go within and stop focusing on what's going wrong and have the strength to be able to realize that there's people that can help us if we want to be able to get to this sun, but it's going to take some energy, and it's not just going to show up. We're going to definitely have some work to do, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And I do think that you all at this, over these next few months, it's going to be a little hairy. Like there's some really tense energy coming up in the upcoming weeks. So I encourage you all to do self-healing, self-care, meditate, get out and exercise, have fun with your friends, even if it's just virtually. You're going to have to find positive outlets, not like the negative outlets that we saw, in Washington, D.C., where people are just like taking out all their aggression in one, negative energy or whatever. We're going to have to find a way to like not focus on the negative, to be able to use this strength to really uplift us and to get over any obstacles, because there is people and emotional help, but we're going to have to seek it out, and we're going to have to kind of like stand in our inner strength to be able to get to this Sun card. Okay, you all, well, I appreciate you all joining me here on Scorpio Soul Time. I hope this was really beneficial and helpful for you. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I invite you to really use this time to figure out how you can better yourself, better your community, and just us all pull together in more positive ways rather than negative. Okay, you all, thanks for joining me. I'll see you all later. Bye.